Is this thing on? Yes. Yay, it's working. Woohoo! Love it when things work out right. Okay, time for some Oni. What a fun game. I can't wait to feel the autism riz with this one. Roxy, thanks for first. You little shit. You're so lucky you're cute. Anyways, let's get a game on. Yeah. You're very cheeky with your tee-hee-hee. Right. What packs do I have? I know there is a new one coming out which I don't have, which is the Aquatic Planet one, so we're not going to play with that. We are, however, going to try and find ourselves a nice little decent seed that doesn't make me want to hate life. Good luck with that, I reckon. I don't care what the 5 story traits are. I just want some decent nearby asteroids or worlds. But I think I'm going to be pushing for that. You normally got to sit here and refresh for ages. A couple of metal-rich ones would be nice. Metallic caves is good. Ooh, there we go. Those ones are kind of crap. Radioactive crust, metallic caves, metal-rich, crash satellites. Yeah, you know what? Why not? We'll play that. And let's just hope that, for once, my oxygen not included doesn't crash, because apparently it doesn't like the mods that I have on hand. It's very, very mean to me in that regard. Come on, loady. No. Laggy. There we go. Right, so we want 3 decent colonists to start with. I normally like to start with one that's good at digging, one that's good at building, and one that is... Oh, god damn it. Thank you, Roxy, for the hydrate. Force-feeding me water already. One that's good at digging, one that's good at excavating, and one that is good at researching. So, we're going to go builder, digger, and researcher. And pray like hell for rain. 7, we can do better than 7. 8, yeah, we can deal with an 8. We don't really want a bionic to start off with. Ooh, plus 10 to digging. Decrease science, that's fine. You're not our researcher. And a plus 8. And what are we going to name ourselves? The Common Space Junk. The Dorky Base. That'd suit Roxy. Cosmos. Yeah. It can't be any worse than Markiplier's the Sneezy Anus. So, yeah, we'll go Cosmos. Now, for anyone that hasn't seen Oxygen Not Included, that's been living under a rock, basically, apocalypse happened to the world, and you are a AI that's basically meant to be rebuilding everything and making sure these little buggers stay alive. And this has to be probably one of the most autistic-ass colony sims I've ever played in my life. So we're just going to get into it. We want to get a couple of things up and ready as soon as possible. First of all, there's lavatories. Second of all, there's water. And it's nice because we've spawned right on top of the patch of water. So we're going to expand out our platform. That's what it's called. And we're going to do a bit of digging down. And we do actually want to mine out a little bit more. What are our priorities? Researching, building, digging. Let's get focuses set up. And hopefully it doesn't take us... Don't do that. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long to get on our feet. This can be quite a long game at the best of times. So we're just going to do what we can to get a move on. Oh, we got natural gas geyser over there, which is really, really handy for probably in about an hour, hour and a half, when we decide to get power generation up and running, and rather than burning coal, which produces pollutants, which makes it so that your colonists can't breathe, such as carbon dioxide and pretty much everything that isn't oxygen. That gas is a little bit nicer. Hey, Lord of Evil, welcome. Thanks for the second. Welcome to my chat. Welcome to the autism zone. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun here. We need a pump. I think that is a smart idea. We'll dig some more shit out. And let's put it on fast speed, but we do need to get our outhouses up. So that our people don't do horrible things into our drinking water. Because that would be very unfortunate. Yeah, no stress, Evil. Hopefully your little trip to the doctor's goes well. I shall be floating about for a couple of hours, so... yeah, I'll be here. Being, I don't know, kind of odd. Right. So we got water, we got bogs. We're going to need to get basic power generation, which is going to be a manual generator, and research. This is one of those games where you need to do research very, 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 very early. Yes, I will jump on the Factorio server, hopefully this weekend. I promise. You shan't be without me for much longer. Especially now that I'm finally home from work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we shall do some more digging down here. We are going to need to dig out down the bottom as well, just so that this water doesn't overflow into where we're going to set up our power. Because that would be unfortunate. So we'll drop that in there. We will get a manual generator, a couple of batteries. We'll wire these up. We'll send that up there. And we can't build a research station yet because we don't have the metal. Of course. What is it? Downtime. Ah, it's knockoff. Right. So we're sort of in a race against the clock against a couple of things at the start of the game. First of all is a dwindling oxygen supply, which hurts us in two ways. It hurts us on sort of two fronts. First of all is the oxygen that we're using up. Second of all is the carbon dioxide and everything else that's replacing it. So yeah, we're sort of fighting that. So what we'll end up doing, once we get the basics up and running, like research and whatnot, is we'll end up digging right down below into the bowels of our area here, so that all the carbon dioxide can drop down and not be a problem for us. And then we'll build stuff that actually creates oxygen, like the diffuser here. The second thing we're going to be fighting against is a massive lack of food. That is going to hurt us a lot very, very quickly if I don't start making some food. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a microbe musher, and these things are absolutely horrible, but they work, because I'm pretty sure all they do with microbe mushers is they squish some dirt and water together, and then your people eat it. Which does not sound like a pleasant occasion. But it is what it is. We've got what we've got. So we're gonna need to get that hooked up. We'll need to hook up the microbe musher And we'll need to get a research station down. Not that the manual generator is going to be able to power all of this, but it can power what we need as we need it. So hopefully all's well that ends well. Mind you, I've lost a lot of colonies in the first half of gameplay. So let's get rid of all the new ones. We want to have coal, copper and water on our resource overlay, because they're all kind of important. We got a little ancient structure down there. Do we have any more geysers just yet? I can't see any, so I'm going to take that as a no. And we'll just hope and pray that there's a heap around here. Right, what are you guys doing? You're still... Can we please get this shit built? That's a little bit important. Alright, so we've got our oxygen starting to be produced, which means our people won't die. I knew always was something I didn't fully understand how to succeed. Yeah, it's a bit like that. I've had playthroughs where I've had 100, maybe 150 hours of playtime, and I've still never understood quite how to win the game. And I just make the assumption that it's like a lot of colony sims and those strategy-esque games. You can't win. You just get to a point where there's nothing else you can do. You've researched everything, you've explored everywhere you can, and yeah, it ends up about there. We'll get some micro mushing done. We also need to get research. And it is not a small research tree. So what are we going to want? We want airflow tiles. We do want gas pumps. We do want liquid pumps and filters. We do want internal combustion because that's coal power, and we're going to need that early. We're going to go with basic farming, though, because that gives us access to the algae terrarium, which lets us use algae to produce oxygen, and it gets rid of some carbon dioxide, and it doesn't require power. So as long as we've got algae, which is this stuff here, we can pretty well keep that going on an almost indefinite... Oh, it's another natural gas geyser. Nice. That is going to be very helpful. We're not going to want for power quite so much, I think. Now, if they can finish getting that dug out, that would be extremely helpful. We've got another ancient structure over there. Cool. Alright, we're basically just going to be waiting on research for a little bit. We need to get those up, then we can get power regulation, and then... I don't know, after that we kind of need the next tier of research, so we'll go through employment and advanced research to get that. And we should sit pretty well alright post that. At least for the start of the game. And then we're going to need gas scrubbing. So where are we? Pressure management. We're going to need the carbon skimmer and the deodorizer pretty early as well, but we need tier 2 research for that anyway. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good path. That is a horrible scene coming out of that machine. Just listen to it. Piece your ears on that one. That lives in my nightmares. Rent-free. Yeah. It's horrible. Right. Internal combustion. Which will give us that coal power. We're going to, while our people have some time, we might dig up. And we might get some algae terrariums around as well. Are you good freaking out like that? Alright, ladder up. And then we've got all of this coal and copper in here we can use. Because we're going to need a fair bit. I definitely do not want mush bars on my resources overlay. My resources tab, no thank you. We got that one pretty quick, so that's nice. What else can we build? We should probably build them some beds at some point, but I might make them a barracks. So if we're going to do that, we need 1, 2, 3... and we get to choose a new dupe. Or we can get some rust. You're all kind of garbage, so I'm just going to print some rust, and that can sit on the floor. It's not like we're losing much. Oh, and we've got some muck roots up here as well, which is going to be a little bit of extra food for us. Dig that out a bit more so we get better gas transfer. And we can ladder up there. That's going to be a pretty tight little barracks for the start of the game. And they're just going to have to live with that. Oh, look. End of day. Yay. Does this just... sort of... does this break down over time? No. I wonder if you melt that, if it melts straight back into iron. Or... rust transitions to rust into molten iron. So it does, it melts straight back into iron. Okay, cool. Good to know. It might be better than using a deodorizer or whatever they're called. Anything new? We've got some uranium, which will be fun to play with. Not that I think I've ever played with uranium before, but, you know. And, yeah, we might get a coal... do we need a coal generator just yet? Not really. We do need to put on more research, though, so we'll get employment and advanced research. And the place is going to look like a mess, too, for a while, until we get storage up. Which will just be a shitload of these stacked all over the place. It looks absolutely horrible, but it works until later on in the game. Lead. How is our oxygen going? Average at best, but it'll do for now. Let's get that on 9-2. Unless they get that bed built. At least then they'll get their sleep need done properly. What achievement? Oh, toilets and beds. I see. We will build them a water cooler because that improves morale. Which is great. You don't want your people throwing, your dupes throwing tantrums, because when they do that, they tend to either break stuff, cry a lot, or pee on the floor. Which again, or vomit on the floor, which again, is not great when there's drinking water open top right there. It's a recipe for disaster. Do we need to worry about our gas pressure yet? No, we don't. Okay. Now, where are we going to? We're sort of surrounded by, very tightly where we are, by very, very horrible things that are very horrible to breed. Which is not helpful at all. Because normally I use the wings of the base for storage of high-pressure gases and large quantities of different fluids. And it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. Assigned duplicants must possess the astronomy skill. That is, I believe, a researcher. Yes, researcher upgrade. Which is beautiful. So we might... Nah, we need someone in field research first before we worry about space. So that is a later problem. Right, on to the next thing. We're going to want ventilation and pressure management for those beautiful, beautiful airflow tiles. We will sort of pre-prep this as well for mining out all this ore. Which should keep them relatively busy while we get maybe research done. Right, who is our... Oh no, Turner's jumping in. Cool. Yeah, like I said, bit of a slow start to it, but it'll pick up as we go. Oxygen not included. It's just kind of one of those games. Until you get 4 or 5 duplicants and the first little batch of research done, it takes a little bit. You do not need to breathe that much. Just cope. Hold your breath more. We need work done. More research complete, so that'll be our gas pumps and pipes. Which will be very, very helpful soon once we do start getting our, I almost said a very horrible phrase or term just then. Before we do end up getting our gas tanks built. Which hopefully shouldn't be too far away, but we do need to mine out our edges more. This sitting on the side of us is going to hamper our borders as well. Did someone just earn a skill point? No. Yeah, that's going to get in our way a little bit. And you will see why shortly if once we have enough done in here that we can sort of start building out. Because we'll chuck a shell surrounded by another shell and fill it with salt water because it's a good thermal barrier. Keeps out the heat, keeps out the cold. And it's going to look funny because of that natural gas geyser. And that's going to drive me mad. Yeah, I'm going to hate it. But that's okay. Turner has earned a skill point. So he can get advanced research. Which should make him a little bit faster. Enjoy, look at that. We're at the end of day again. I need like a super fast button, like a 5 times. Just for the night time. One thing I appreciate about Rimworld and Lords and Villains, you can go like uber fast through the dark. There's a fucking hatch. These little bastards will eat everything in your base. I mean, they shit out coal, but they'll eat everything to do it. I wish they didn't. No, we don't want to sweep the coal. We want to sweep the mush bar. Please and thank you, before that little bastard hatch decides to eat it. Right, we've got the next part of our airflow done, and we will do some more research. Yeah, we're going to want decontamination. That is sort of the next thing on the list. We're going to need those carbon skimmers, and we're going to need deodorizers. Because we're already getting polluted oxygen in here, which in and of itself isn't all that bad. It's once you get into places with germs, it tends to proliferate. The germs, like, grow in the polluted oxygen, and then your people get sick, and like I've got some pretty lazy friends and they're worse than them, and that's saying something. So yeah, they don't do much. They're kind of useless. They're me after a couple of beers. So yeah, we'll try and avoid that as much as possible. We're going to need a polluted fucking water tank in a minute. Let's get some more ores mined out. We can get our research on the go. We've got these ores up here that we've got access to, and like I said, this ancient structure. So we might actually path our way over there and see what's in there. We've got more dupe skills. Improved construction for Ren and for Marie hard digging. Which just means better construction skill and can mine harder, like rocks, because not all rocks are the same hardness grade. So it does make life a little bit easier as you expand further afield. Because I think this abyssal light is level 2 or level 3 in the hardness scale. Oop. I keep forgetting that. No, we do not want more hatches. Do we want a cook? A cook that starts with tier 2 digging. You know what? I reckon I'd be better off digging my eyes out with a spoon than accepting any of these. So we're just going to reject that batch and move on. What are you saying no to, Roxy? What are you denying me? What, you're saying no to taking the cook, or you're saying no to digging my eyes out with a hot spoon? So you're saying no to both. I can't do either. Well, that's just no fun. Oh, we've got a brain in a jar over here. Well, that's alright. We're, there's a little puzzle you're meant to do to get in here. And we're just going to bypass it, because, you know what, we can. Like, who's going to stop us? We're not even going to go that way. We're going to go this way. And just pretend that the puzzle doesn't exist. Because we can. Yeah, we're just going to come up from underneath and yeah, just act like it doesn't exist. Guys, can we get the oxygen sorted out, please? Thank you. Marvelous. Good job. I'm proud of you all. What else have we got over here? More algae. No more geysers as of yet. Oh, there's a... Okay, so little tip. If you've not played Oxygen Not Included and you are thinking about getting it, or you've just started playing it, these little patches of neutronium, they spawn in 2 places. At bedrock level and underneath geysers. So, like here you can see there's the bar of 4 neutronium there. So if you see that, that means right here there is a geyser buried in the rock. And you can do a little sneaky way to find out what type of geyser it is. Oh god, thank you Roxy for the hydrate. I am not going to enjoy the amount of water I'm going to have to drink during this stream, I don't think. Yeah, so there's a little trick you can do to find out what sort of geyser it is. You come up the side of it, and then you just sort of dig in like that-ish. And you can see what sort of geyser it is, because the geysers themselves are blocked when they're behind material. And once you unblock them, they start producing. And if you do it that way, it doesn't count it as being unblocked because there's still too many of its cells that are covered over. And it's just a great little way that you can see what there is and kind of plan ahead. Yeah, it just sort of makes life easier. Now, we input water and carbon dioxide, we output polluted water. So we are going to need a polluted water tank. Which, at this rate, we might set our sump for our drinking water up down here just for now, and we'll put our polluted water tank over this side out the way so that it's not going to be a problem. So we will get on with that in some shape, form, or fashion. And I've also just realised I've forgot to put my airflow tiles down. So we will do that as well. We might as well actually seal that up properly. And we'll do it here because we need to get some storage sort of happening. To try and clean all of this crap up before we build our sump down there. So like I said, it's going to look like hell for a while, but that will improve, I promise. Don't at me for my terrible building skills. It doesn't last forever. It will improve over time. Roxy, don't you aha me. It will. It will. Ooh, also, I've noticed it doesn't look like my chat box works. Why, one might ask? In answer, I've got absolutely no idea. Maybe if I do that, it might work. I don't know. We'll find out. Right. Okay, cool. So they are getting our storages online. So we'll be able to start getting things tidied up. So we got raw minerals, filtration mediums, metal ores, and consumable ores for the most part. There's going to be a hell of a lot more. But that sounds like a later problem for a very now me. So we'll get raw minerals, filtration mediums, metal ores, and then we'll do consumable ores after. And we might as well start the dig down as well, because this can form our sump right here. Actually, we might square it up with that. So it's even. Won't make me hate myself. Or my build. What have we got? We've got a massive patch of coal over there. That's huge. We're going to go through chlorine gas, though. If the Western Front taught us anything, chlorine gas is bad. And we have built through here, so we'll drop a ladder there, and we can get the brain in a jar. I don't know whether it's better to put that in a synth. Or, because I don't really want to lose any of my people as is. We've got a lore unlock. Inspect. View entry. I'm your host, Daryl Dawn, and blah, 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 blah. Seems like a TV thing. Eh. Is what I say to that. Aha, you have no power here. And we're back on downtime. Of course we are. What was the other thing we needed? It was coal, consumable ore. So we'll get two storage bins going for that as well. And I've also just realised that we're out of research. So what's going to be next? We don't need any of that because that's all textile production, automation, and art. So that's a bit later on. What are you? Insulated door. Ah, okay. I think considering we're about to move into fluid handling, we'll get plumbing and filtration done. And we'll go into distillation too, so we can get the water sieve. That will speed up. Oh, it'll sort of help us handle our water situation a little bit better. Maybe. Possibly, perhaps. If we're lucky. Right, where is our border going to be? So it's going to be there. Can we actually dig this shit? Yes, we can. And where's our other one going to be? It's going to be there. And then we can set our walls up, and we can put all our fresh water in there. Which just makes it a little bit nicer. And we'll also chuck we'll go tile, and then ladders across the top. So there's all of our liquid pumping stuff. I think we've got gas filter and liquid filters coming as well. Which the gas filter is going to be the more useful of the two. And yeah, what have we got down here? More abyssalite, magnet rock. I would like to get into these lockers, but we'll do that as we build down. Our builder hasn't come up and done that yet, but that's okay. Come on, Ren, build faster. And actually, we might just can those two for the moment and dig out underneath them once I remember where the buttons are. And then all the shit that's there can drop down. And then we can just put it underneath the tank as well. And then it's nice and easy. And we are going to need... So that's our outer borders. We're going to need ladders on the inner borders as well. I know everyone's going to hate me for how this is going to be built, but it works, trust me. Whether it's the best way to do it, I don't know, but I haven't seen any better. Oh, anyone want to go and visit the lubrication station? Oh. Right, what have we got? We got sweat corn. That sounds horrible. Do we have anyone supplying doctoring, decorating, supplying, tidying and ranching? No, we'll take the sweat corn. And that sounds... That is sweat, not sweet, isn't it? Yes, sweet corn's double E. Sweet corn stalk. Is it a eye-catching vegetable copse? Okay, so it is their version of corn. Okay, cool. We're going to set one of these over to seeds as well, because I don't want that little bastard hatch eating that. I have never seen that seed before, and I wouldn't like to lose it now. I swear to God, if you eat that, I'll eat you. If you don't eat that, I'll just let you live. Capiche? You eat that sandstone, you go shit out some coal, you fuck off. Okay? Yeah, there we go. Good dude. You eat that fucking seed, and I will put you on a barbecue. I'm not even kidding. Roasted hatch sounds like a pretty good deal right now. Get ourselves a hatch steak. New blueprints. What are these again? Are these skins? I can't remember. Come on. Yes, they are. Okay. That's neither here nor there. That sounds like a much later problem for a very now me. Right, hopefully they don't take too much longer to build these ladders. We are out of power once again. This is why we need to get coal generators up, but the amount of carbon they put out, we're going to have to anyway, aren't we? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, alright, we'll do that. We'll chuck an airflow tile down here just to help the carbon escape. And we'll add that into our power grid. Is that another hatch? That is another hatch. Don't you go eating things either. I've got no problem with taming yous and keeping yous and feeding yous, but if you eat my important stuff, you're gonna get eaten. So, just, that's a warning for you. Right there. Capiche? Cool. Deal. Brandon, get a move on. Stop fucking around. We've got shit to do. I need more miners and builders, definitely. This early in the game. I wonder if it's worth... How do you make synthetics? One thing I haven't done yet is make synths. I assume they might be down here. Has protection, monuments. I assume they'd sort of be down here. Maybe they're after your tech. Trailblazer module. That's all shipbuilding. Artificial friends. No, that's the Sweepy Bot and the Rover. And the Flydo. And the Robo Miner. So that's not what we want. Can you build synths? I'm not even sure. I'd make the assumption that you can. Synthesizer. What about robot? No. What is this thing down here called? Where is our lubrication station? Where do we get the lube? Bionics. Are they called bionics? Okay, so I'm guessing you can't build the bots. You've got to bring them out the printing pod. But then it's kind of, what's the point? Are they more resistant, or are they totally immune to hazardous environments? Because from what I've seen, the skills you get from them are kind of garbage, so they'd want to have some sort of decent offset to make up for that. But I'm not actually sure. I haven't had any bionics yet. It is going to be a very small water tank, I've just noticed, but I think we're just sort of going to have to work with it and hope and pray. And now that we've got our coal power station up, we will get a deodorizer. We might actually drop a couple of them down, just because it's pretty rank in here. So I think it's probably worthwhile. I hate the rate at which these batteries discharge. Yeah, we're sort of just waiting on this sump to be built now. What do we get? Okay, we're getting distillation, which is for the water sieve. So, unfortunately, it doesn't stop any germs from being in the polluted oxygen, especially once you've got outhouses, or the next level, the actual proper toilets that are plumbed up. if you run that in directly into your system, it drops germs, as one might imagine, straight into your polluted water tank, and then that germifies all of that. And it takes time for... Once it's converted into water and taken away, it takes time for that water itself to lose those germs. Sort of... Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult spot, because you can't get rid of them unless you superheat the water and turn it into steam and then turn it back into water. Or you freeze it, which means you then have to... You've got to spend that massive amount of energy to get rid... Or to freeze it. And then you've got to wait for it to thaw out, and you can't... Like, you can automate it, but you can't automate it. It's kind of a bit of a dick around. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Maybe, if we're lucky. Guys, can we please get this tank done? Please stop cleaning. Alright, that's going to level 9. Fuck a lot of yous. You're getting overridden. Start digging, fuckers. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. You're taking too wrong. Can you actually get rid of those things you were yelling at? I can. But they produce coal. Which is needed for my power generation. And... yeah, it's kind of a to and fro. You can domesticate all of the creatures in the game as well. Which then they produce resources, and they produce more resources than if they were wild. Can you actually cook them? Yes, you can. You can definitely cook them. Pretty much all of your creatures drop meat alongside, generally, a lot of them, they'll drop whatever other product they make. Hatches don't, because they've got to eat something to then shit out the coal. But stuff like, yeah, Dracos over here, which are basically, like, freaky four-eyed space sheep. They drop, like, fibers, which can be turned into textiles. And if you breed them in a certain environment, there's a different variant of them which produces plastic instead of basically wool. How are our deodorizers going? We'll get them up on level 9 as well. Come on, fuckers, mine. Build. They look like spider sheep. Yeah, they basically are. Pretty much. They're very odd little creatures. But yeah, they're space sheep, more or less. You got them, you've got, I don't know if we, oh yeah, here we go. There's Pakus, which are, they're piranhas. And there's a variant of them called tropical Pakus, which are very, very cool looking. Which, they're just fish. You get your fish, yeah. You know, fish. I'm a piranha. I'm from the Amazon. We don't have any other creatures around at the moment, but yeah, there is a lot of animals and stuff in the game. So yeah, so oh, there's a Draco egg. He's got an eggy. But yeah. Dinner. Yeah. What, the egg or the Draco? You can have egg and space sheep. That actually sounds like a bop for a meal. You go to a space diner. They walk up to you. Our special tonight is space sheep egg and space sheep. I'd be like, fuck yeah. 20,000 credits. Drop that bitch on my table. 100%. I'd smash that shit into my face like a fucking weapon. Oh, yeah. It disturbs me, though, because space sheep breeds by egg. And I don't like that. Like, sheep is sheep. Sheep is mammal. It does not breed by egg. Everything in this game breeds by egg. Yeah. Your fish breed by egg. Your sheep breed by egg. Well, fish and insects is normal. They breed by egg. But sheep? Yeah, that kind of disturbs me. Oh, God. Thank you very much for the hydrate, Roxy. Ah. Water. I'm so excited. Right. What have we got? Suit wearing, supplying, and ranching, which are all kind of shit at that level. Building and suit wearing, kind of shit. Like we need higher levels, because that's just not doing it well. Bionic systems. Starts with electrical engineering, decreased husbandry, decreased medicine, no passive attribute leveling. We don't need electrical engineering. We're going to go with the food. I can do 34 more, lol. Be mindful. I can make it $1,000, 1,000 credits to redeem hydrate, and then you can do 3.4 more. So, For anyone that doesn't know, Roxy's my partner, and she's currently standing in the doorway of the games room doing the cute little fingers poking together because I've just threatened her with making hydrate more expensive. So, you cheeky little shit. You're lucky you're cute. Yeah. So yes, there's lots and lots of plants and critters. We've got more paku down there. And interestingly, with the paku, if you've got them in normal water, they're just normal paku, like these ones. And the chances of them, like you're getting the variants, it's based on certain things. They've got to be in the right temperature, in the right environment, and eating the right things. It's a lot easier once you domesticate them to actually manipulate that into happening. But with paku, I think there's normal paku, there's tropical paku, and I think there's salt water. So what is a Jorbo? Feed on pakus. Okay, that's a new one. I haven't actually seen this one before. I wonder if this is from the aquatic. So yeah, you got the tropical paku. Who there's certain things you can feed them so that these things come into existence, and these live in polluted water. And then I think there's the goldfish, who inhabit cold liquid. So their gills filter polluted water into water. Okay, so they do that. What do normal paku provide a significant decor boost? Okay, alright. We can work around that later on as we go, anyway. But yeah, there are a heap of different variants. It's the same with Drakus. I'm pretty sure nearly every creature has certain variants. And they provide certain bonuses or do certain things, much like with the Dracos. You can get the normal wool ones, and you can get the ones that produce plastic instead of wool on their backs. I think they're called a glossy Draco, if my memory is correct. Yeah, glossy Draco. And they only Like, they can only grow the plastic and hydrogen environments. I think that's their only variant. Yeah, it is. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can play around with. What have you got? Oh, noodles. Yeah. Okay. No, thank you. Yes. We need to figure out what we're doing for dinner too. I'm assuming it's those steaks. Yeah, cool.
I just know you want ready for dinner.
Yeah, maybe even longer. So.
And I got snacks, so I'm gonna make noodles.
Yeah, that's okay. You eat your noodles. Right. What are we on? We are on break time. Cool. How much food do we have in the bank? 23.5k. That is a-okay. What are we going to do for our next research? Deploys an automated sweepy bot. Sweep up swallowed. Sweep up swallowed. Oh, God. I'm going to be able to make a short just on all the times I fuck up words in this stream alone. Like, I reckon I could make a YouTube channel and Instagram page of shorts, and I could populate it with that content basically forever.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Especially if we stream together.
Yeah. Right. Remote planetoid exploration. I like the idea of getting a sweepy dock. We need brute force refinement for that too. Which is good because that means we can start refining metals, which is going to become very, very important, especially when we get into petroleum generation and high-pressure gas vents, which we additionally need plastic for. We're getting to a very, very unique stage of the game. And I say it's not unique because I'm the only one that does it. It's unique because it's one of those stages of the game that only sort of happens now. And that is getting our basic water tank set up and our starting, like, depollutionization of our air. And starting to put the shell around our base, which is just, honestly, a absolute metric fuckload of digging. Because of the proximity of this nat gas vent, I think we are, once we've got that one and that one, we are going to go for natural gas generators, and we can switch over to producing that, because we get that, it produces carbon dioxide, bad, it produces polluted water, also bad, but it produces that polluted water for free. It burns the nat gas and gives us polluted water, as far as I remember, for nothing. I don't think you have to input water into the nat gas generator. I could be wrong. But we're going to operate under the presumption that we do not. So we're going to want that, especially because of the proximity, which means we're going to have to set up a nat gas tank, which we might do. Yeah, we might go gas tanks on this side. So that means we're also going to need to sort out chlorine and hydrogen. This is where the game starts getting a whole different level of autistic. So we're just going to do what we can to make it work. We're going to want to destroy those 3 ladders as well. We can build those ones down to ground level. And there's a reason, so that we can make the floor there, get the rest of that mined out, and we're not going to have any resources sitting in there. Because your people are going to go in, get cold, get wet, and get unhappy. So, yeah, that will save us just a little bit of trouble. There's a lot of the tism. Yeah. So we're going to have to start figuring out very, very soon. Okay, we can start refining metals now, but that's going to have to wait a second. We're going to have to start figuring out what size we want our base core to be. So I'm thinking if we were to stretch it across to be... If we put... This is going to drive me mad. I wonder if we build the rest out, or plan the rest out, and then we just notch in. As much as that is going to drive me absolutely bonkers, that might be the best way to do it. I think. Because, yeah, that's just not in a good spot. And we definitely want our shell around our base. So let's just have a look at this. So our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our tile sets are 8 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's an 8 tile set. So we can even set that as our border and build that across like that. We could come across a little bit further, but having the extra buffer and room for ladders, this will be its own room with a couple of gas pumps in it, will make things a little bit smoother, for lack of a better term. So let's work out where we're going up. So how far from this is that? So that's 26 across. So we'll go from here and we'll go to 26 across. 26. 26, and that's to the outer wall. And we're going to want... We can go 3 by there. And it's... Yeah, it's an autistic-ass way to do this shit, but... We make it work. And then we'll do 26 up, and that'll be 4 by there. And then naturally 26 down. Now this tank won't stay here forever. It'll probably be there for a while, but it won't be forever. Where is... That doesn't seem... That seems like way... Or did I take that up to 36? No, that's definitely 26 tiles. Okay, I was just being weird. Nothing unusual there. So that's 26 there, I think. No, that's 27. 26 is one above. Okay, that's actually rather irritating. I might need to tank down. I can't tank down anymore. I've got the nat gas guys are there. I can tank down a little bit more. Is there any... Oh, there's slime lung on that. Maybe we do a fat short tank? Might end up being the better idea. Yeah. This has not worked out well for my planning. But we will make it work. That's okay. We're more than capable. We're smart around here, I think. Right, so we're also just going to grab some tiles. So that is our center there. And we're just going to do that. Actually, we'll set it back one even further, just so that we know that that is our center. I know we can see it fairly easily, but it just double, triple make sure when I'm looking at it that we know for a fact. Now, next upgrade, we've got field research. Now, I'm pretty sure with field research, is that the thing we need for this field research skill? Yes. So you can study your gas geysers, or any geysers. There's fluid geysers as well. And you can find out how long they're going to pump their material for, and how much they're going to output, which is what that's for. It comes in very, very handy for making sure you can fill quotas and keep your production running long term. Our oxygen is actually sitting really nicely. We do have chlorine in here at the moment as well, because I cracked that. So is there a bit of bleach stone here? No, but yeah, that is coming off of there. So we do just need to be mindful of the potentially toxic gases. We don't want to overrun ourselves before we've got actual tanks. So, it is time for us to figure out what the hell we're doing. And this is not done in an especially fun way. So we want our joins to be like that, because you get actual distance between your walls, which helps with thermal regulation. And we're going to have to walk these together, just bit by bit, until we can get them to work. And I don't like how that is forming. So we're going to cut this back by 1 at that point. 2, 2. I still don't like that. So let's cut that back again. 2, 2, 2, and 1. And I think that's the best we're sort of going to get. So, yeah, make sure your joins are 2 apart. And we're going to end up filling this thing up with salt water, because it is fairly good for thermal regulation. We might actually do the outer shell from inside for now. We'll do that. We will knock a hole in that wall. We'll dig that out. We'll cut that off and drop in a toll there to denote... Oh, fucking hell, I cannot talk English today. To denote center. And we'll just start absolutely ripping this place apart. We'll get it hollow, and then we can work from there. And that should more or less get us up to the top of the base in some reasonable form or fashion. And it should drop all of the materials down here outside of our way, so when we find salt water and start pumping it in, we don't have to stress about pulling resources out of the area. It is going to put a considerable strain on our oxygen generation, though, because our generators are going to be trying to cover and pressurize a much larger area. But that is honestly a later problem. So, yeah, I've just seen we've got the Sweepy dock, and we've also got a new blueprint. Suit wearing, and ranching. Ranching could be helpful, but we're not really at the point where we need it. But ranching could be very, very helpful, especially with a +8. That could come in useful. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're going to go with the mallow seeds. What's the chance you're domestic? You're not. Yeah, okay. Okay, now that this is all sorted out, let's get our water tank built. And, yeah, like I said, we're going to have to go kind of short and squat with this. This isn't going to work out well in our favour, I don't think. Just because of the constrictions that building the actual shell around our base places and the conditions of our environment. it makes it very, 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 very difficult. But we'll make it work. We're going to have to. We don't have much of a choice. We'll rip the bottom ends off them too. Can we dig out some more of this without causing too much harm? Yes. We will put our ladderway across there. We can rip those out and we can build a ladderway down there. I've just realised my leg rubbing on the cable on my mic's making it make noise. And we will rip that out as well. Oh shit. Oh, we have done a boo-boo. Yes, I know he's suffocating. We're about to lose him. Come on. Come on. Run, dude. Oh, thank God for that. We do not need to go losing dupes at this early time of the game. Alright. They're done now. Okay, cool. We saved his life. Right, we're going to make a funny shape for our thing, our tank. It's going to be like a very wide heel and a very narrow toe, just to try and pack in as much water as we can into this shitty little spot that we've got. You don't need to be there. You can be one of them. We can deconstruct them. Don't die. Actually, we don't even need to. There's no point building that. It's going to be this tiny little spot. We're just going to have to tank it up there and hope that that's okay. Which I'm sure it will be. With any luck on our part. Right. Plumbing. I can put a picture pump there. So that we'll be able to pump water out of this spot. Who's in tune? Ah, that's in tune. Okay. We might have dropped some sand on our heads. And we've got some new skills to run as well, so that'll be improved construction 2 and super hard digging. We're actually earning these skills quite fast. I'm surprised. Very, very surprised. Okay, that's got that fixed. Right, can we please get this tank built? Let's go, come on. This is all priority 9 now. Let's get this over and done with. I'm sick of waiting. This is holding up the whole goddamn war, so... yeah. Can we get that digging on level 9 too, please? Please and thank you. That would be super, super handy. You're a bright spark. Right, I just realised I should have deconstructed these ladders a little earlier, but oh well. It is what it is. Those ones can go You ones can go. You can stay. We need you and you. We want a ladder. No, we don't want a ladder there. We're going to want it over here. And that can be decode as well. So we're going to end up dropping some material inside the tank, but it is what it is. Additionally, we're going to want a liquid vent. For this water up here, we can just dig a hole and drop that straight into the tank, so that doesn't matter. It's the same with that. It can just sink straight into the tank. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. We are going to want a bottle emptier as well. Hopefully shortly we get some decent dupes. Good to go. With any luck. And let's get this stuff swept. Get all of this priority 9. Which they will do. That's in the wrong spot. That needs to go there. Which they'll do when they get a chance. Which will hopefully be the next day, with any luck. You aren't submersed. You'll be fine shortly. We will start burying a ladder down there just in preparation to sink our water. And then we can catch that stuff and drop that in as well. Plumbing and ventilation, yeah, I don't need to learn about any of that. Liquid, water, cool. We do actually, it looks like there's there is a little bit of chlorine in there, but that's alright. Chlorine, I think, is heavier than most other things, so that should, I believe, sink as time goes. Yeah, it is. It's sinking. Still lighter than carbon dioxide, but yeah. Beautiful. Alright. We can sink some. And start filling this tank. Which hopefully works okay. We are getting it through. We just need the rest of it to be dealt with. Mayhaps, possibly. Is that going to overflow? Is the next grand question. That's going to be close. I think. Oh, that's making me nervous. That's making me very nervous. I don't like that. We'll get all of this leftover water. That is very, yeah, that makes me nervous. Ah, well. Right, what do we got? Tidying and digging, suit wearing and cooking, farming, digging, operating, or alveo vet. Fucking that hurt my brain for a second. You're a narco. You'd be fantastic except for that narcoleptic, so we're going to take the C. Honestly, we're just getting shit rolls on our scents on our dupes at the moment. It's kind of garbo, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Right, what's down here that we can't pick up? Cultivatable soil. That's alright, we can assign a thing for that. And we are making a reasonable dent, but it's just not a dent deep enough. And getting shit rolls on our dupes isn't helping. But, like, we probably could have used them anyway. They would have served a purpose. But it just wouldn't have been white enough, I don't think. Is there any research we can get on with at this point in time? There's material science, which is nuclear science, which we're not necessarily interested in at the moment. What are we going to want? Okay, we are going to want nat gas. We don't need either of those, but we do need plastic manufacturing, so we'll get those three, which will give us nat gas generators and ooh, no, don't dig that. It'll give us nat gas generators and the ability to produce petroleum and plastic. Yeah, okay. And hopefully we're not going to be getting down to petroleum yet or anytime quickly soon, but it will be coming up because we are going to need plastic. Need to build across to there so that they can get those, and I think it's going to be the same there, probably be the same there and there. Hopefully they'll be able to reach all of that post those being built. Maybe. Maybe not, I don't know. We're dropping sand on our heads. Okay, so that did just fill. So that's okay. And that should keep us going with clean water for a while. Each cell is, well, except for the top ones, each cell is a ton. Yeah, no, we get concussions a lot around here. It does happen. Yeah. Why do you think I am the way I am? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we got millwood seeds. We are going to have to start farming at some point soon as well. We can get rid of that. And replace it with actual tiles. We need to get some airflow tiles in as well. And once again, we're on downtime. But we are making a reasonable dent in everything. Thank you very much, Roxy, once again, for another hydrate with your 3,500 credits. Thank you very much. You can just keep doing this all day, can't you? Yeah. I'm going to need to get a bigger vessel for my drinking water. I do drink enough water when I'm at work. So, yeah. I drink 3.5 litres of water a day while I'm at work. However, when I am not at work, it is beer and soft drink and coffee. And I think that is valid. You're going to go get a water bottle for me, aren't you? Yeah. I'm having water thrust upon me.
3.2 litre water bottle.
Yeah, well, I've probably had the other 0.5 in that mug, so there's my 3.5 litres. I sort of needed to start drinking it when I got up, though, but I've had coffee, that's got water in it. I don't know whether that counts or not, but yeah. So me drinking Coke and orange juice counts by that logic. Okay, my logic doesn't count because I don't want to say that drinking Coke as a source of water is okay. Did you know, I've got a mate who once... I went to his house. I was in high school. I went to his house. And his entire computer desk, there probably would have been 50 or 60 empty cans of soft drink on his computer desk. No, it was horrible. It was absolutely disgusting. And he told me that he'd been to the doctor because he'd been having whatever problems it was. And they'd found out that... No, it wasn't from a week. I'll tell you how long it was from in a sec. He found out, the doctor did some blood tests, and they found out his blood acid content was super, super high. And they couldn't work out why. And he started having these problems pretty quick, and it turned out that all the soft drinks he had on his desk weren't all the soft drinks he'd had in, like, a relative amount of time. And the amount of soft drinks on his desk was, like, 2.5 days of empty cans, and he'd already gotten rid of like 150 cans of soft drink over the previous week before that. And I went over because I was going over to, play video games and smoke cones. And I'm like, well, you do realise soft drink has citric acid in it, right? Like pretty much all soft drinks have acids in them, and a lot of them, it's, as far as I'm aware at the very least, is citric acid. And he goes, that'll explain it. I'm like, yeah, you're a fucking retard. Like, you're drinking this much sugar and acid, and you're wondering why we're about to get urine in our drinking water. You're wondering why, we've got urine in our drinking water. You're wondering why you're having problems. It's because you're drinking all of this soft drink and you're doing yourself a mischief. So, yeah, why aren't our toilets being sorted? Can we please get them done? Like, this should all be getting sorted. And yeah, so it's pretty nasty. He drank like nearly 200 cans of soft drink in like a week and a half, and wondered why he was having health issues. And I'm like, you're actually a fucking idiot. Like, you can't do that and not expect problems. So yeah, he went on a big health kick after that. So no, don't drink soft drink as a replacement for water, because you'll end up in the doctor's office in very, very poor health. No, you're not that bad. You're not that bad. But I'm going to be honest, I was going to say you're not that far off it. You are far off of it, but it's. Right, can we please get the urine water out of our drinking water? There's still more dribbling in. Let's get all of that on priority 9. It needs to be done. Look, I'm borderline about to have a heart attack due to stress. May as well go out happy. No, that is not what we're doing. We're de-stressing. And we're not having heart attacks. If we're going to do anything, we're going to cope and seethe. Capiche? Live APM says no. Computer says no. Well, too bad. Right. Oh, we've got another digger. What are you? Cannot do doctoring errands, attribute bonuses while stressed. That's interesting. And 7 excavation. Right, we're having you. You are another digger. We're going to put you on digging. We're going to jump all of your guys' priorities up. And you start with a skill point. So we'll drop that straight into hard digging. Right, can we please stop peeing everywhere now? Now that we've got the toilet situation sorted. That would be thumbs up. Fantastic. Stop urinating on my floor. It's nasty. And we've got a morb. This is another creature, and it just sort of spawns out of the woodwork. The morb. It just randomly spawns in nasty environments, which is what over here is. So we're going to cop that one on the chin. And, yeah. Just pretend it's not there for the moment. Right, we need another bed. For, is it Ada? Yes, it is Ada. So we're going to drop that up there. And she doesn't get to have a room. The whole base is Ada's room. Because Ada's just sassy like that. We've got more urine in our water. This is no bueno, amigo. Now that we've solved the urine water crisis, we can move on and keep building our base. Maybe. Right. So what do we got? We've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 1. 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 1. And then we go 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2. Oh, God, I made a dog's breakfast of that one. 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. A lot has happened, yes. A lot has happened. We've been putting in the work, as one might imagine. I've been a very, very busy boy, and now I'm paying for not paying attention to what I'm doing. Because that's apparently what we do around here. Yeah. A few things have changed. We'll put it lightly.
I'm not weird.
Why aren't you weird?
Ellie also likes sandwiches.
Yeah, but Helly's weird.
No. She's more normal than me.
And you can tell Helly I said she's weird as well. And
Okay.
yeah, she knows it's meant with love. Right. We made a little boo-boo there, but that's okay. We don't want to go excavating this too quickly, because then that water will flood down, and our tank cannot handle that. It absolutely cannot handle that. So we're just going to take this step by step, and hope that we don't fuck up. As I am prone to doing. What's the radiation outlay on that? It's not too bad. It is not too bad at all. Yeah, Evil, this is one of those games the start is very, very slow, but I work very, very quickly. Especially if I'm going to stream, because I don't want it to be boring. So, yeah, I'll try and work rapido to get things up and running. We're not going to worry about that. Oh, we can dig those in. And we can stretch that across there. Now that we've got that second dupe for excavations, it's going to run a lot faster in that vein of things as well. It should save us a considerable amount of time. Right, how is our oxygen doing? Actually, really good. I'm surprised we've spread oxygen that well. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't normally work out that well. Just an update for you. He now has a 3.2 litre water bottle, so if you want to continuously make him drink water, you're more than welcome. Well, yeah, that's fair, because me and Evil and a couple of the other viewers do it to praise her and then laugh at her when she complains that she has to go and pee. So yeah, it's fair. I'd accept that. I don't accept it from you, but I'd accept it from Evil. Yeah. Yeah. Don't you give me that face. It's valid.
Wait.
Yeah, save it for later.
Yeah.
It's set the cat on me, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You would too. So that rather than being the normal, because I normally get the base nice and round, this is going to be a little bit squished at the sides, but we'll make that work. You're going to come up to there.
Why did you mark on a cock?
Where's the cock on my map?
Go back down where you were.
Where?
Go. So, back down. Right there, where that ladder is, that random little bit that just...
Where? What?
Walk up the straight.
Yeah, just come over and show me the cock on my map, apparently. Oh, there!
That too, but no.
Where do you want to go?
Up.
Up? Oh, it's just a bit of random shit that had some water in it. That got dug out. Why does your map have a cock on it? You're an animal.
It also looks like you're slowly building a nutsack.
I'm not slowly building a nutsack, I'm building one giant nut. Wait until I colonise another planetoid, and then there'll be the second nut. Well, who is it? Is it real civil engineer, or... I think it's real civil engineer that calls the phallic shape the strongest shape. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's real civil engineer. It might be Mr. Samuel Streamer.
Wait,
The phallic shape. Penis. Yeah. Oh, God. Fun and games, isn't it? We've actually got a fair way in nearly 2 hours. So, we are cutting it off at the 2-hour mark tonight. I might do some Hell Let Loose after this with us, Aussie Gamers, the clan I'm a part of. But we will see whether they're sort of hanging around online. Which, considering the time, I don't think they will be, but we shall find out. I know I am streaming with them on Sunday afternoon. So that should be okay. We'll get some Hell Let Loose time in with them. God, those two diggers make short work of everything. Loves it. Loves it. He does. He loves it. And yeah, okay, we've got a good start. I quite like this start. We've done surprisingly well for, I think, a shit set of circumstances. With the guys are there, shit rolls on our dupes. We've done pretty well. So we're setting ourselves up well for next time I stream this, which is going to be my next break in 2 and a bit weeks. Yeah, we're setting ourselves up fairly well for that, so I can't complain overly too much. It's amazing how much you can actually get done in 2 hours, even with a slower start. So we'll make it work, as we always do. We've got skills that need to be handed out. Turner again. He's going to have a morale problem, so we might hold off on that. We're not currently researching anything anyway. So I'm not going to stress overly too much about it. Oh, we've got more skills. Oh, no, that's Turner. It's... I'm like a goldfish. Just brain is mush at the best of times. You don't have to agree with me. Horribly mean. There is one more thing I do want to get sorted out before we end the stream for the evening. And that is a very, very certain type of door. So it's going to be down in the gas area. It's not the mechanized airlock as far as I know. It is the airlock door. We're going to need that. Because that is going to sit in... We're going to have exits out of the base, even through the shell. Because otherwise, how would we do anything? And it's going to sit in these spots there and there once I move everything on this level and have it all set up. And that will be the way we get in and out of the base while controlling temperature, gas flow, blah, 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 blah. And we get to get a new dude. So we do have a 13 rancher, but he's got decreased husbandry. So that isn't helpful. We might go with the millet seed, the mimullet, yeah, that one. Because anything that produces food is going to be exceptionally helpful for us. And we also want to get that swept, which they will do on their next available day. We'll sweep that muck root. And yeah, that will set us up fairly well. I think next time we stream this, we'll get a farm going. We might start doing some basic ranching. And we'll start getting our gas handling, our proper power station, material refining, and some other little bits and pieces set up. Because we're going to need to regardless. So we might as well get them done early, because they do... If you don't get them done early, they tend to spool out into being far more complicated than what they should be. You know, when you've got 7 or 8 gases to set up at once, rather than having 3, getting them done, and then just adding to that system as time goes on. So, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, what we're going to do for the moment is we're going to... No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to need to move the bathroom, so we might drop that down here so I can get my walkway set up. But that, again, will be a problem for next time we stream. It'd be nice if I could get a little to-do list. I don't know, maybe there's a mod for that. Maybe I can make a mod for that. A little to-do list on the heads-up display. But, yeah. Again, problem for next time. Do some last finishing touches on our current little projects. And we are going to bonk it on the head, because I have to go eat. And it is almost 9 PM. And I'm still recovering from night shift, as one might imagine. I am wrecked. Which is why we cancelled last night's stream. We were going to play Fate Keeper, but I might catch up with that maybe before one of my other streams in the evenings coming. We shall see how things pan out. But yeah, thanks very much for hanging out. Coming and chilling by. Yeah, we got I think a Stellaris stream on Saturday night. I think it's Stellaris that I'm doing. I can't entirely remember. And then we've got Hell Let Loose with Aussie Gamers on Sunday evening. That there's different times for each thing, which you can find on my Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. It's also down in the stream schedule down below, the Twitch view window thing. What else? Oh, I've got a VTuber model on commission, so that's going to be here in like the next 4 or 5 weeks. I will set a debut date as it gets closer, but yeah, that's as it gets closer thing. We'll worry about that. And yeah, I will try to get some videos out on my YouTube channels when I get the chance. But I have to sit down and do the one thing I hate about this, which is editing. So, but that's a worry about something that I have to do regardless. So that is a-okay. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. We shall knock it on the head here, and yeah, get a decent one on for, again, I think it's Stellaris for Saturday night, which will probably be a much longer stream because Stellaris is even slower than this, and I want to murder aliens. So yeah. Fun and games. We shall catch up with them. Bye-bye.